Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United Kingdom, and today we're working with the fabulous Hey Chick stamp set. So this is one from Celebration a few years ago, and in the January to June catalogue these lovely chicks reappeared in new guises, and they also have brought out the Hey Chick again. The great thing is that this time we've got dies to match. So with both of them we've got dies to cut out the chicks as well as accent dies as well. So in the Hey Chick one we've got this lovely little hen house, a little tree stump, a little notice, and these fabulous corn cobs as well. So that's what we're working with. Some of the prep I've done already because obviously, you know, it just takes a lot of time otherwise. But the fun thing about this card is it looks like an ordinary card, which you could, but actually I've made it a triple easel card. So you've got a really sort of three-dimensional effect there. I've done these as 3 equal panels, and I'm going to work out a version that for another design that has 3 sort of separate tiers. But you can see we've got our little eggs at the front here, which I've coloured, and 3 of those chicks as well. And I just thought it was great fun, and for anyone who loves chickens or keeps chickens, it's perfect. So I thought we'd do some die cutting first and get all the prep done. So your mini cut and emboss machine is really useful here. What you want to do is stamp and die cut our chicken images first. So I've done a couple of those already. And I'll just do the last one. So I'm using Memento because I'm going to colour using my stamping blends. So that's the first thing to say. So just ink it up well with Memento. Pop it on. Let's put might be a slightly small piece of card, but let's give it a go. And then just pop your die on the outside of that to cut it out. These dies, obviously being the Stampin' Up! Ones, do hug the image really nicely. So what you want to do, I use a little bit of tape just to hold it in place. So hold it until you can see a nice border just round the outside of our chook. A little bit of tape, and you can come in with your Stampin' Emboss machine and die cut that. We're also going to die cut our little sign, and we're going to cut our corn cobs. Some of them I've done already. I use this post-it note tape, but at the top of a post-it note is perfect. It keeps them together and just saves them pinging off all over the place. So I've just used that to pop in there as well. As you can see, a nice well-used plate on there. And I have popped my other plate down. So pop your, don't be tempted to put, they're so quick and easy to pop through. Don't put too many on at one time. I'm just popping a couple on there. Pop your next plate on the top and then run that through. Now if you're struggling to get it through, just offset them slightly. Go. And you'll see that those just pop off beautifully, and you'll see with these they cut so well that they actually stick to the plate. So I'm just going to slide those off. Let's pop our actual corn stalk and my little corn cobs there. Again, just line up those plates. And you'll find in the Stampin' Up! Catalogue it will indicate as well if dies are suitable for the mini cut and emboss or the main cut and emboss machine. That will just help you. And then the last bit I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my little sign there and my little hen house, and that's just on a piece of crumb cake. So again, there's a little line to indicate don't go beyond that, because that makes it difficult to pop through as well. So if you use that line to make sure your dies are in there. So that's all the die cutting. Just all it done. Now to make these images pop, what I'm actually going to do is I've just got one of our blender, I use one of our blender brushes. I'm waiting for my next one to come, and I try and keep one for all the colour families. So this one is an old one that I've got that's got stuff browns, but I just find that by using a blender brush over the top there, it just brings out the detail of these signs, like so. So we can then stamp our little image on there, like so. So this is just, you know, have a happy day, perfect for a birthday. Perhaps espresso might have stood out a little bit better on that, but there we go. So let's start to get our elements together. So I'm going to put my dies to one side. So to create these little corn cobs, what you need to do is, and this is probably the fiddliest bit, I suppose. The way I have found that it works is I pop my corn cobs down, and I just get my glue, a bit of Tombow, or I'm using a little bit of fine tip glue here, and I just add those onto the top of the corn cobs. So I kind of do leaves onto cobs, like so. And you don't have to be too overly precise. Then I just flip those over. Obviously these ones are drying here. I happen to have 3 already done. And I just add a bit of glue onto the bottom of those to then pop them onto my stalk. And I mean, I put 3 on my original, you know, 2 is fine. You know, you just do as many or as few as you like, depending on how much time you've got. And say I'm probably going, you know, doing a little bit less on this because I'm doing it on video, and you know, once I've shown you the principle, you don't need me to do much to construct the whole thing in front of you, I'm sure. So there's my corn cobs. So I've corn stalks. So I have got 3 of those. So I now want my 3 chickens. Now I've coloured one already, and my other, or in fact I've coloured 2 already, almost. So with this one, all I did was I came in, and this is just to show you how quick it is. I've just come in, this is my dark mango melody, with just a little bit of colour using the bullet tip. I'm using the bullet tip for a little bit more detail. And a bit crazy chicken, because they kind of look a little bit crazy. And a bit of Calypso coral is the other colour I used. Bullet tip, I haven't told you to use the bullet tip, I've just used the, but don't worry about that, just come in. You just add bits of colour as you want for your, and then colour their legs if you fancy, and you can make them as fun as you like. With this one I've used Smoky Slate, and just a little Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to come in with my blender pen to kind of soften some of the images. I had a lovely grey and white chicken, Miss Pepper Pot. So there are my 3 chickens, there are my stalks, to move those extras away, and there's my little house. So let's get on with the card itself then. Oh yes, and you also are going to need 3 of these eggs. So I've got a couple here, Smoky Slate at the ready. Okay, so I've just come in, Smoky Slate round that bottom edge, and on the kind of crack there. And again, I'm using the blender pen to soften the edges there. Like so. So the card base itself then, you're going to need just under half a sheet of crumb cake. So I've cut this down, and I've done it in inches this time. It's 5 and I haven't cut it down yet at all. Yes, I have. 5 5/8 by 8 1/4, score in half at 4 1/8. And then we want to line this up at 1 7/8 and cut from the middle down to the bottom edge. Repeat that at 3 3/4 as well, and just, you might want to come in with your snips, but you see I've just gone up to that edge. Then turn it diagonally, line up your point, and if you're at all uncertain about this, let me just show you one of the things I do, is if you fold that out of the way, you can line it up more easily. So you want to go from the corner closest to the outer edge and score that one. And then just repeat that with each of your diagonals. So just coming in and scoring the diagonal. And then the final one as well. Again, corner, just score that diagonal. Like so. You then want 3 pieces of cardstock. I've used early espresso here, which are 1 7/8 by 4, 1 3/4 by 4 inches. And on the first one, I actually put a layer of crumb cake as well. But to be honest with you, I don't think you need it. So all I'm going to do now is just fold and reinforce those creases. Like so. So that gives our twisted easel. And to add these layers on, I'm going to come in with my fine tip glue, and I'm just going to add just in from the edge a layer of glue. You can come closer to the score line, because that is going to, but you only want your glue just in from the edge on the cut edges. Okay, so, and then while it's flat, add your layers on. And you can see it's just a very narrow margin, which is why you can come quite close to that edge. But it just creates your little border. So as I say, you don't need kind of that extra card if you don't want it. So once those are down, then we can start to create our scene. So this is dimensional city. So let's add our dimensionals. So we're going to want to support this. And on little hen house, I've allowed it to poke up a little bit above the edge. Just check it with a C6 envelope to make sure that it still fits in. But I checked it with mine and it does. So you can kind of come a little bit above with our little hen house, like so. We can pop our crazy bird. You know me, I like to add a little bit of shape, so just shape her slightly and keep the dimensionals down the middle. That'll enable that shape to continue, and just tuck those feet right down at the bottom, like so. Now we're going to add our corn stalks. So again, with the corn stalks, you only want to add glue to the kind of bottom 2/3, because that top bit will poke up over the top. So all I'm going to do is just run it down the centre of that stalk and on these thicker leaves and on the back of the corn cobs. So, you know, you can add just little dots of glue. Now if you wanted to, you could add glue to the back 2/3, but the reason I didn't use in sheets is because you want that top bit to poke up over the front. So just add those. So as long as those go down to the bottom. We've got an extra bit of dimensional on that one. Like so. And we're going to put our little stump in there. This one I've actually cut out of some of our specialty DSP that's come out in the butterfly bouquet. It's actually got a wood grain effect on it. So I just thought I'd see what that looked like as well. These dimensional packs are going to get everywhere today. It's actually got a coating on it, so they're not sticking on quite as well as usual, but I'm just going to pop my stump there. And which bird? I think I'm going to have this one probably here. And yeah, I think she can stand on the top there, because I've used a slightly different bird. She's not pecking at the corn. She's being a better behaved one. So again, keep those dimensionals to the bottom sort of half of your image. Probably off camera with that now. And again, just nestle that one over the top there. And then our big old bird. I used to have a ginger nut ranger like this. She was great fun. Kind of a dancing bird, look at that. I don't know what's the matter with me today. I'm covered in dimensionals. In fact, while I'm getting dimensionals, let's get the last few together. So to create the stoppers, you're going to want at least one, maybe a second one actually on those as well, just to hold them in place on the underside of the card. So, and as I say, it's not, you know, it just needs that last little bit extra. I can't get on with dimensionals today. Goodness knows what's the matter with me. So, have a happy day. And then all you need to do now is just position our little eggs. So I have just popped them at the front here. So just on the front edge of each of those corner pieces to create our scene. You see, just sort of evenly spaced on that edge. And there we have a fun triple twisted easel birthday chick card that creates a fun scene. So there we go. I hope you enjoy making it. If you'd like the Hey Chick or Hey Birthday Chick products, pop along to my shop. Links are in the description bar below. And as you can see there, just a fun scene for any chick loving fun friend. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.